In our final story, we go to the city of Madison, Wisconsin, which, like most communities, was hard hit by the economic downturn of the early 1980s. State capital and home to the University of Wisconsin, Madison had long enjoyed a high standard of living. With the economic crunch, the challenge was how to preserve the good life when the rules of the game had changed, how to provide quality services with fewer dollars. When you think of city government, you think of the basics: fire and police protection, public transportation, health and human services, trash removal. Services that only a few years ago were taken for granted. Economic recession and federal cutbacks left Madison and many other cities with tough problems to solve.
When I first became mayor, a lot of people were talking about privatization, and I just thought that was the wrong question. People aren't that concerned about saving nickels and dimes. They're concerned about getting the value for their tax dollar. And I thought quality service delivery was the real issue.
In all American cities, the efficient delivery of many vital services depends on a smooth-running transportation fleet. But here in Madison, the Motor Equipment Division was a bottleneck. Following the adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, preventive maintenance on the city's 760 cars and trucks had been avoided for over a decade. The result? Constant breakdowns and sagging morale. Local union president Terry Holmes.
We didn't have any time for preventive maintenance. We didn't have any time to fix things before they broke. We were just fixing as they broke down.
Labor management relationships were completely antagonistic. They were on opposing ends. Management was threatening, condescending.
What it basically was is that they could tie a truck together with shoelaces and chewing gum. They'd send it back out on the road.
And we had to find a way to do a better job. I found so many people were divided between departments and protecting their own turf. We had to find a way to work together.
The mayor decided to take a bold step. He proposed to union leaders that, together, a pilot project be set up in the Motor Equipment Division. The goal? Satisfy the customer, institute quality control, develop teamwork.
When the mayor came down to Motor Equipment and talked to me about trying a pilot project, I was very excited about it. I thought it would really work. The problem was that I didn't want to be part of it, per se, because I didn't want them to be able to come back and blame the union or blame myself if it didn't work.
Changing old work habits is very, very difficult. The rewards are worth it, in my opinion, but they take time, a lot of hard work, and personal involvement.
There's got to be a certain amount of labor on that.
Eventually, a committee of 8 master mechanics and 2 managers was set up. It tackled the specifications for a preventive maintenance program to restore quality service.
We sat down, went through all the books, developed it. We looked at other outside rental agencies, other people that had a preventive maintenance program up and going, developed it into our own.
Labor and management at the table, not just to bargain on wages, but to increase efficiency and productivity.
That type of engine, we do an LOF every $100.
Today, preventive maintenance is up and running. There's still fine-tuning to be done, but already vehicle downtime has been cut 40%, while total repair costs have plummeted from $350 to just over $200 per vehicle. The success of the pilot project has resulted in the creation of this citywide steering committee on quality and productivity.
For some of the workers to learn about what's going on, we're going to have to get them involved in some project. We can't.
The partnership forged between management and labor has resulted in teams of managers and workers throughout the city working together on projects that range from police work to personnel. These days, a high priority is placed on providing quality services and customer satisfaction.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
We're with the City of Madison Street Department.
It's a new way of doing business, and it just may revolutionize how city governments are run in the future.
I don't think that anyone lives in a country or in a state. You live in a community. You live in a neighborhood. You live among people with shared values, and government is there to help them, to pave the streets, to take care of their refuse, to make sure their children are educated and trained. And we can do a better job in those areas by using these techniques.
Government is essentially about choices, political choices, social choices, and economic choices. And almost always, it's about tough choices. There are never enough resources to satisfy all the needs. The imperative to do more with less both limits and inspires. It demands understanding, a willingness to compromise, and the ability to work together for common goals. As we have seen, even when the choices are tough, if labor and management work together, the problems can be solved, the needs met. It's not happening everywhere, but it's begun. And one thing is certain, with labor management cooperation and employee involvement, workers do a better job, managers make better decisions, and our communities get the best government possible for their tax dollars. I'm Morton Dean. Thank you.